with a complexity that is enough to stagger the average student. The planetary wheel of life turns on its lesser scale the wheel of life of the little pilgrim we call man. As it turns, it sweeps the life of the evolving planetary logos into ever new forms and experiences until the fire of spirit burns up all lesser fires. As earlier pointed out, each heavenly man is linked with one of his brothers under the law of mutual attraction, which manifests so degradingly as yet upon the physical plane, through the life of the human unit, imprisoned in physical form. Psychically the link is of a different nature, and such a link is found between the planetary logos of the scheme we call Venus, and the logos of our scheme. This psychic interaction has its cyclic ebb and flow, as ebbs and flows all life force. In Lemurian days came a period of close interaction which brought about an incarnation on the physical planet of the logos of our scheme, the head of the hierarchy, and the one initiator. This could not have been effected had not the planetary logos of the Venus scheme been in a position to link up closely with ours. See Venus and the Earth chain. This question of the coming of the Lords of Flame to the planet Earth is deeply involved, as stated above, in the relationship existing between the heavenly man of the Earth scheme and the Lord of the Venus scheme. Until more detailed information is permitted publication and these two great entities, little more can be done beyond indicating some probabilities, and pointing out certain factors which students should carefully bear in mind. The statement has been made that, owing to the Venusian scheme being in its fifth round, its humanity is consequently further advanced than ours, and can help us, and that this help came in Lemurian days. This is an instance of a partial truth, and its misinterpretation. The Venusian scheme is as stated in the Secret Doctrine 13,735 in its fifth and last round. Its humanity is very far ahead of ours in certain particulars, but the momentous occurrence in the third root race was due to the following causes, and not to the factor of the greater advancement of a certain group of human beings. First, the Venus scheme, viewed as a logoic center, is more active than ours, and therefore its radiatory magnetism is far more widely spread. Its radiation is such that on the Buddhic plane it swept within its magnetic radius that chain in our scheme which is composed predominantly of Buddhic matter. Then, via that chain, it magnetized the corresponding globe in our chain, and this resulted in a specific vitalization in the dense planet itself. Second, just as in the case of man, certain triangles of force are found at different stages of evolution, or, to word it otherwise, different centers become geometrically linked, such as the A base of the spine, B solar plexus, C heart, or again, A solar plexus, B heart, C throat. So, in the case of a heavenly man, or of a solar logos, a similar event occurs. Such an event transpires in this round in relation to the center, which our planetary logos embodies. It became geometrically linked with two other centers, of which Venus was one, and logoic kundalini circulating with tremendous force through this adjusted triangle brought about that intensification of vibration in the human family which resulted in individualization. We might here enumerate the schemes as a basis for our further work. The 7 planets, centers, or schemes. 1. Vulcan, the Sun, exoterically considered. 2. Venus. 3. Mars. 4. Earth. 5. Mercury. 6. Jupiter. 7. Saturn. The 3 synthesizing planets. 1. Uranus. 2. Neptune. 3. Saturn. The 1 resolver. The Sunday I would caution you here against attaching any importance to the sequence followed in numbering these 7 schemes, either in connection with their order of development, or importance, or their position in relation to the central planet, the Sun, or to each other. Only two are to be considered numerically accurate at this stage and in this round, i.e., our Earth, the fourth scheme, and Venus, the second. Venus is either the second or the sixth scheme, according to whether the schemes are counted mystically or occultly. Inversely, Jupiter will be either the second or the sixth, and it must be remembered that a. The planets Venus and Jupiter are exceedingly closely connected with the Earth, and form eventually an esoteric triangle. B. Saturn is the synthesizing scheme for the four planets which embody Venus purely and simply, or is the major resolution of the minor four, and eventually for all the seven. See Figure C. Mercury, the star of the intuition, or of transmuted Venus, is, at this stage, considered as the fifth scheme. Therefore, the heavenly men of Venus and Jupiter are magnetically linked with the heavenly man of our scheme. The relationship of the Logos of Jupiter and his influence will not be realized nor felt until the sixth round is in full force, though during the sixth root race his vibration will be acknowledged and sensed. In the middle of the fifth round the Logos of Mercury will, with the Logos of the Venus scheme, and of our Earth, form a temporary triangle of force. We have here information given that has only been hinted at hitherto but for which, in this fifth subrace and in this fourth round, the world is now ready. It holds the solution of the mystery of this round. Third, the statement that the great Kumari or the one initiator came to this planet from Venus is true in so far as it embodies the fact that he came to this dense planet, the fourth, in the fourth chain from that chain in our scheme which is called the Venus chain, and which is the second chain. He came via the second globe in our chain. His scarcely felt vibration was sensed, occultly, in the second round, but only in the third root race of the fourth round did conditions permit of his physical incarnation and of his coming as the avatar. Very reverently might it be said that the first three rounds, and the two succeeding root races in this chain correspond to the period prior to birth, and that his coming in the fourth round with the subsequent awakening of Venus in the human units find their analogy in the awakening of the life principle in the unborn infant at the fourth month. The analogy holds good, for a heavenly man at the end of the seventh round reaches full maturity, but requires the final process of rounding out and perfecting which he attains during the two final periods a. of synthesis into the major three schemes, b. of resolution into the final one. Making again with reverence may it be said the 9 cycles which cover the gestation of a heavenly man, and which precede his birth into yet higher worlds. In this lies much food for thought, and much of moment for the profound student. We might couple with these suggestions the recollection that we are speaking here only of the Logos of our own scheme, and must carefully differentiate other cycles for the other Logo, a thing as yet impossible for us. As this is meditated upon and studied, the wonder and beauty of the plan will become apparent. A clue to the idea of the final avatar is likewise to be seen here. Many temporary incarnations precede this consummating one, which will be the incarnation when the heavenly man, in the full beauty of his completed 7 cycles, and prior to his merging into his synthesizing goal, will demonstrate as the embodiment of that perfected quality, or logoic aspect, for which he primarily stands. As a center in the body logoic, he will be fully vitalized, and the logoic kundalini will have stimulated, and aroused to perfection his systemic lotus. For a brief period he will shine forth radiant as the sun in his glory. Then the kundalinic fire will pass in higher progressive spirals, and he will gradually become centered in the corresponding logoic head center, the higher triangle or the major 3 schemes. To illustrate by means of a human being, the microcosm, man attains a period of high development wherein his heart and throat center are perfected and vitalized. They become radiant worlds of fire, fourth-dimensional in action, and allied with each other and with some other center. they become likewise the object of the attention of human Kundalini. This is a period of great activity and magnetic usefulness. It is succeeded by still another, wherein the three head centers are synthesizing their 7 minor correspondences, and the force of Kundalini passes there. As above, so below. Chart VI, the divine septenary hanging from the triad, thus forming the decad, and its permutations 7, 5, 4, 3, SD Vol. I, pp. 259. I have especially mentioned these two centers in the microcosm as they are closely concerned, on a larger scale, with the particular cycles through which our planetary logos passes, and because they represent the third and second aspects. We need to bear in mind that the stimulation of the centers is of three kinds, and the distinction between the three must be kept clear. First, the vitalization of the logoic centers, or the pouring through the 7 schemes, during stupendous cycles, of logoic Kundalini. Next, the vitalization of the planetary centers, or the pouring through the 7 chains of a scheme, of planetary Kundalini. Finally, the vitalization of the centers of the planetary logos during some particular major incarnation, or the pouring through the 7 globes of the chain, of Kundalini. It should be stated here that a major incarnation is one in which a planetary logos takes some initiation. He may, and does, pass through many incarnations without taking initiation. When he does take initiation, it is interesting to note that he does so during some incarnation in which he takes a vehicle of etheric matter, as is the case at this time. The logos of our scheme is preparing for initiation, and hence the terrific tests and trials, incident to life on our planet during this cycle, are easily accounted for. The logos of our scheme, Sanat Kumara, will take a major initiation in the middle of the 5th round, but is preparing for a minor one at this time. The logos of our scheme has been in physical incarnation, having a body of etheric matter, since the middle of the Lemurian root race, and will remain with us until what is called the Judgment Day, in the next round. At that point in his career he will have achieved the necessary vitalization of the particular center which is occupying his attention, will have seen of the travail of his soul, in connection with the units of the human hierarchy who go to the composition of this center, and will drop his present form, will turn his attention to another and higher center, and give of his force to the units of a different caliber, from another branch of the human hierarchy, who respond to the vibration of that center. It would be well to enlarge here a little on the connection between Venus and the Earth, which is hinted at in some of the occult books, and is somewhat touched upon in this. I have stated that the interaction between the two schemes is due largely to their positive and negative polarity, and I pointed out that a similar relation underlies the relation of the Pleiades and the 7 schemes of our solar system, and also the relation of Sirius and the system itself. This, therefore, sweeps into close interaction 3 great systems. 1. The system of Sirius. 2. The system of the Pleiades. 3. The system of which our Sun is the focal point, making, as we will have noted, a cosmic triangle. Within our system there are several such triangles, varying